The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Rodgers called the idea that he had anything to do with Robert Saleh being fired ridiculous. He also said a lot about changes potentially coming to the Jet offense. We'll talk about what Rodgers said to Pat McAfee and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
First of all, thank you to Robert. Just remember this, there's a human side to this. There's a family, an extended family that's really hurting. So when you're out there celebrating this in whatever way you do, just remember there's a human aspect to it. I care about my teammates, care about winning. I got to play better. I will. We're getting behind Brick, and, there'll be some changes with this, and that's the direction we're going to go. Today is about moving forward, embracing the changes that are coming, and it's a time for us as players to lock arms with each other and find that belief inside of us, because that's the only way that we can inspire the belief in our fan base to get behind us in the right way.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. We will get into what Aaron Rodgers had to say on Pat McAfee in just a moment. A reminder, if you haven't done so already, support me on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get in our exclusive Discord channel when you join. Get access to bonus shows like the one I posted earlier today for all Patreon users to enjoy. Get your name in the intro, and of course, 15% off every item in the jakeasman.com merch store. Plus, just a great way to help me continue to do this YouTube show full-time moving forward. So thanks to everyone on Patreon for your support. Before we get to what Rodgers said, I'm rocking the New York Sack Exchange sweatshirt. By now, I'm sure every Jet fan heard the news. Abdul Salaam, member of the Jet Sack Exchange. It was announced earlier today that he passed away at the age of 71. We have heard from various people, including Joe Klecko, who talked about this during his Hall of Fame induction last year, that Salaam had been sick for a long time. Obviously, 71, far too young, but a very important figure in the history of the New York Jets. Played for the team from 76 to 83, an elite run stopper on a four-man front that was one of the greatest in the NFL, and certainly the greatest defensive line the New York Jets ever put together. So I was not old enough to be part of watching the Sack Exchange, but my dad was. And if you're a Jet fan, you know all about the history of the New York Sack Exchange. So RIP to Abdul Salaam, and thoughts and prayers, obviously, with his family and his teammates and everyone who knew the former all-time great Jet. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers. He came out and he addressed a lot of what's out there involving this Robert Saleh situation. We know Jeff Ulbrich is now the team's interim head coach. This was Aaron Rodgers weighing in on Robert Saleh being fired.
Now, I would love to offer you the floor to kind of explain how yesterday went down, your thoughts on it all, and how you think we got to this point that we're at with the New York Jets organization in 2024.
Yeah, yesterday was a day that reminds you of the simple fact that all of us who've played know all too well, and that's that it's a tough business. It's a beautiful profession. It's incredible. It's done so much for our lives, but it's also a really tough business. I love Coach Saleh. We have a very solid relationship. We have since, I met him in 2021 and had a nice conversation when they came and visited us for joint practices. He was a big reason why I came to the Jets. I felt like the team, was a solid team. Had a relationship with Coach Hackett, obviously, And I really liked Coach Saleh, everything that Matt LaFleur said about him, the few interactions I've had, the times that we went against him. I just had a lot of respect for him. And so, it was just a reminder yesterday how tough the business is. I think what people can forget in this is not only is Robert a fantastic human being and a damn good football coach, he's also a family man. He's got 7 kids. He's got an incredible wife. And the business of football can be hard, not just on those of us who are playing and coaching and doing personnel things and ownership, obviously, but it's tough on the families. And I've got to know Robert's family over the last couple of years, and especially one of his kids, Adam. Adam's my little throwing buddy from training camp. Love Adam. He's an incredible, incredible kid. And so I'm thinking there's obviously a lot of emotions, but you think about the family and the kids as much as the people you love, your own family, who is the coaching staff and the players, and what they're all going through. So, anybody who's kind of championing this decision, I would just appeal to the humanity of the situation and remind you there's other people involved. And Adam has to go to school today, possibly, or this week. And hopefully there's no, kids with poor parents who are making snide side comments to him. It's just a reminder there's a lot of things involved in this.
More from Rodgers. This is the big takeaway from the entire interview. People have insinuated, Mike Florio, many people in local media, that Aaron Rodgers basically demanded Woody Johnson to fire Robert Saleh. Here's Rodgers responding to those accusations.
As far as any of the ridiculous allegations out there, I'm not going to spend more than one sentence in response to it, and that is that I resent any of those accusations because they're patently false. And it's interesting the amount of power that people think that I have, which I don't. But I love Robert, and it was, one of those days yesterday.
Look, Rodgers in this interview said a big reason why he came to the Jets was because of Robert Saleh. Now, here's the thing, right? If Aaron Rodgers goes out there and plays well, no one's going to care. Because at the end of the day, Robert Saleh wasn't a good enough coach. He wasn't. He was a phenomenal guy, phenomenal defensive coordinator, hired a hell of a defensive staff. Ultimately, he wasn't a good head coach. And I think doing this now is still the right move ultimately for the Jets. See, in hindsight, yeah, they shouldn't have started the year with Robert Saleh. He should have been canned last January. But it's better to make the decision now, too early in season, than too late. And that's what I come back to. Woody Johnson's not a good owner until he wins. But you know what? Even bad owners could sometimes make the right decision. And I still think, ultimately, given where this season was headed and the importance of this game on Monday night, it was the right move to make this decision now. And look, for what it's worth, I actually do believe Aaron Rodgers here. I don't think he went to Woody Johnson and said, go fire this guy right now. I think if Rodgers really wanted to stop it, maybe he could have, but he didn't want to get involved because I think he also recognizes here there's a problem. Now, in this interview, though, Rodgers talked about how he's got to play better. He feels responsible for Saleh getting fired. And I know there were a bunch of Jet players today who spoke to the media, including Tyler Conklin, who said Rodgers took this the hardest, that Saleh got fired. He feels responsible. So some of you are not going to believe Aaron no matter what. I don't think it matters. He's got to play well and win games. They win games. They win on Monday night. No one's going to be thinking about Robert Saleh. But the pressure now is on this quarterback to play better, and he says he's going to. And that's really the bottom line. But I don't know how you could watch this full interview like I did and come away like, oh, Aaron Rodgers was out to get Robert Saleh. I don't believe it. I really don't. But it really doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if Aaron Rodgers goes out there and plays well and they win on Monday, who cares about anything else? They got to win. That's the only thing that matters. Now, there's people out there saying, he doesn't have so much power. Nate Hackett is still employed. Nate Hackett might be employed, but guess what? If you think Nate Hackett's remaining the play caller, after what you heard from Woody yesterday, Ulbrich yesterday, and now Aaron Rodgers today, I have a bridge I'd like to sell you.
Well, our relationship's great. It always has been and always will be. I think that there was going to be some things that needed to change, regardless of what happened to Robert, and we just haven't been playing consistent football on offense. And as we know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, there's when you have a couple games, and obviously I didn't play well in either of them, but where you just don't play very efficiently, you got to adjust some things. So it's a part of our game. Change is part of our sport, and I know there's a lot of things that were swirling out there, but at this point, Brick and I have talked a couple times, and I'm on board with whatever he decides as far as the offense goes, and I want to do what's best for the team, and we're throwing our support behind Coach Ulbrich, and whatever he believes is best for the team is what we're going to go with.
I mean, how could you hear that and be like, oh, my God, Hackett's definitely going to have his job as the play caller? He's not. Adam Schefter then went on the McAfee Show immediately after this interview with Rodgers and said, it sounds like, based on what Aaron's saying, reading the tea leaves, Todd Downing's going to be the play caller on Monday night. That's what's going to happen. And Lisa Salters will probably have this big story as one of the sideline hits right before the game starts. Connor Hughes will be the local beat reporter who will have the sources. Jets making a play caller change for tonight. Hackett's not calling the plays on Monday. He's not. They're going to make changes to this offense. Now, I would argue they need to make changes to the offensive line coach as well. But Ulbrich said yesterday that he was not going to fire anyone off the staff, at least not yet. This was Ulbrich yesterday being asked about changes to the offense.
Jeff, Woody was talking to us a little bit ago about changes potentially, just changes in general for the offense. I was wondering if you could talk at all about your plans for the play caller, because you have Todd there who's done it. You have Nate who has been doing it. Do you know who's going to call plays for you?
I've got tremendous respect for this offensive staff. I do. Every single guy on it. In the next couple days, in my opinion, these guys are going to be here on Monday Night Football for us, and they're gonna do an amazing job. Saying that, in the next, this has been 4 hours fresh for me to take this role on. Everything will be assessed, the process, the responsibilities, etc. But I do not foresee any changes in the staff.
But there will be a change in the play caller. All right. Ulbrich yesterday, Rodgers today. Woody was asked specifically about Hackett and talked around it. They're going to make changes. They should make changes. The offense is not good enough. And I can tell you, even though Rodgers publicly will never bash Nathaniel Hackett, behind closed doors, he's critical. And there are going to be some things they do differently. There has to be. They got to get back to running the football. In their 2 wins this year, they ran for over 100 yards. In the 3 losses, they averaged less than 3 yards per carry. They had Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. You know how many teams in the NFL would swap their running backs for the Jets running backs? Probably all of them. Figure out how to use them. It's ridiculous that Aaron Rodgers had to throw 54 times in London last week. Figure it out. He cannot take this many hits. It's not sustainable. I believe Aaron when he says he's going to play better. I don't think he's washed. I think he had a bad game against some really good defenses where the Jets weren't equipped to pick up a block as we watch on film. There needs to be changes, and guys need to be held accountable, and that was the word of the day from all the players today. Accountability. C.J. Mosley talked about it. Thomas Morstead talked about it. Morgan Moses talked about it. Go beat Buffalo on Monday night. You're in first place. Everything is still in front of this team. That's why you make this decision now before it's too late. And the biggest change they're going to make is they're going to change the play caller. And I won't sit there and act like Todd Downing is Kyle Shanahan, but I could tell you he's not Nathaniel Hackett. Hackett is bad at his job. They have to make a change there. And they're going to. If they don't, I'll come out and say, huge mistake, I was wrong. I don't see it. Not based on what Rodgers just said. Not what Ulbrich said yesterday, what he said. Read through the tea leaves. You had the report that came out yesterday that before Saleh even knew he was being fired, he was already stripping Hackett of the play calling. That's the one change that you can make right away. That and just the energy level of this team. Come out and realize, wow, our head coach got fired. Let's look ourselves in the eyes and realize we're a big reason why we could be better. This team still has far too much talent to not be a playoff team. And their season really starts Monday night against the Buffalo Bills. But all the talk is, Rodgers, he got Saleh fired. I don't think he did, but guess what? It's not Aaron Rodgers' fault that Robert Saleh is not a very good head coach. Seriously. It's funny. A day ago, before Robert Saleh got fired, everyone's saying he's the worst coach. He's terrible. He's this, he's that. The Jets fire the guy, and how could they do such a thing? Because the goalposts always get moved with this franchise because they haven't won, and it's easy. They're an easy target. They got to win. Change the narrative. You have to go out there and win on Monday against a vulnerable Bills team. You're at home. You've beaten them the last 2 years in your building. Go and get it done. That's what it comes down to. As far as the latest on Davante Adams, Antonio Pierce said earlier today that Davante Adams is still a Raider ahead of Week 6 against the Steelers. Quote, when he's healthy and he can play, we'll play him. He's just not healthy right now. I think what's happening here is still some posturing going on. I don't expect Davante to play for the Raiders again. But if he's truly not healthy, that's probably why the trade hasn't happened yet, right? I also think the Raiders are trying desperately to find another team besides the Jets that will give them a better offer. Even Bill Belichick, who hates the Jets, said on his podcast with Underdog that there's no team that's going to give them a second-round pick, which they reportedly want. I think the Jets know they have the best offer on the table, and they're not going to bid against themselves. And if it's true that Davante's not even healthy yet, then even if you landed him now, he's not playing on Monday against the Bills. So I felt like if he was not going to be traded by the end of today, he was not going to play Monday night against Buffalo. Which means if he's going to be traded, it would probably be what? Early next week, so he's in the lineup against the Steelers? Kind of feels like that's where we're headed. But I don't think anything Antonio Pierce said today about, if he's healthy, we'll play him. I don't think that changes anything. I don't think Davante Adams is ever playing for the Raiders again. I really don't. I think it's some posturing going on right now. And I still fully expect him to be traded, and I expect him to be a Jet. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Jake Asman Show is indeed presented by Underdog, baby. New customers right now, download the Underdog app and take advantage of a up to $1,000 deposit match from Underdog right now. Use promo code Asman when you sign up. We got some Mets baseball coming up in just a bit. Yankees as well, so get those Underdog picks in if you haven't. And if you already want to start looking ahead to the NFL slate for Sunday and Monday Night Football, Jets, Bills, you certainly can. That's Underdog in the App Store, or go to the Underdog website right now and use code Asman to take advantage of that $1,000 in bonus cash that you could take advantage of. So once again, shout out to Underdog for being part of our show. If you haven't downloaded the app and used it yet, you are missing out. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We will open up the Gusbuster hotline as well. Huge shout out to Kat Murphy, who decided to do it the old-fashioned way, signed up and became an official Asmaniac here on YouTube. All right, let's get to your calls. First up is Tristan Oliver. What's up, Tristan?
What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
Hey, man.
I just want to say, I just don't. I feel like another head should have rolled. It's not doing it for me. The head that should have rolled should have been Keith Carter. There's coaching mistakes, and the fact that we've spent so much money on the offensive line in the offseason and draft resources, and people have regressed, not gotten better, and that's a solid guy. I would have been fine with his head rolling, just because, like, you can't miss assignments that bad. There's not a zone scheme or a gap scheme where you block somebody no matter what. It's all about, you know, how the defense is lining up, basically. So if they're in a 3-3 or 3-4 or 4 or 4-2, you know, dime, nickel, the blocking scheme changes and they're just doing it wrong. And that's coaching. That's all I got, Jake.
Yeah, Tristan, they got a major problem with the offensive coaching right now. They got to make some changes there. And Obrick's got to put his style on this team. I'll tell you what, if the Jets offense plays with the accountability and intensity the defense does, they're going to be fine. They're a good team. There's something to that. I'm seeing this comment here from Adrian and other Jet fans. Saleh was scapegoated. He's 20-36. The team lost 10-9 to Bo Nix at home. They came out flat, down 17-0 in the first half, Sunday in London. He wasn't scapegoated. He wasn't good. Sorry. It was enough. We gave him plenty of time to turn this around. I'd rather do this now than wait until it's too late. Someone made a great point earlier. If you let him coach the Bills game and they win, maybe it buys Saleh more time for it ultimately to not work. Remember, Zach Wilson probably was getting benched if he didn't play well against the Chiefs last year. It bought him so much more time. The Jets then went out there. They got to 3-3. Zach wasn't good in that Eagles game, but they were 3-3 at the bye. Then they stole the Giants game because the Giants handed that to the Jets. And they were 4-3 at the trade deadline and didn't add a legitimate backup quarterback. Oh, well, they have a winning record. Oh, Zach showed flashes against the Chiefs. And it bought him too much time, and it sunk the season. I think Woody didn't want to go down that path. If you're already done with the guy, do it now when you have a little more time to get ready for such an important game on Monday. That's how I look at it. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Indomitable. Indomitable, what do you got for us? Hold on. Indomitable dropped out. More of your calls. Let's say hello to Doug in his room. Hello, Doug.
Can I say the worst part about this whole Saleh getting fired thing is Allen being back? That's definitely the worst thing to happen for the entire
I know. Well, he's being positive about the Jets right now, but he's still a scoundrel.
How long is that going to last? Maybe like 2 days, 3 days top.
Yeah, until they lose.
And then, no. Again, I said it yesterday. I think I agree. It had to happen. Now, based on what Schefter said after Rodgers, because I watched the whole Rodgers things, and I just saw the clips of what Schefter said. Davante trade's probably not going to happen until next week now, because you're at that point where you're in the game plan phase. And so if it happens, I think it's going to happen Monday or Tuesday next week based on, well, not Monday, probably Tuesday next week based on what Schefter was saying. Would you agree on that sentiment?
Yeah, I would. I think at the end of the day, the Raiders, I think, are doing some posturing publicly. And if he's actually not healthy, like Antonio Pierce said today, if that's true, then why would you trade for him right now if you're the Jets? If that's true, I mean, I don't know.
And then, like I said, you said it. If you watched it, Rodgers said all the right things. There's the real life aspect of this is that Robert Saleh is a human being. This affects his family. I mean, he's still going to get paid millions of dollars the rest of the year, so it's not the end of the world. But there is the real life aspect of it and just the change. But it had to happen. Rodgers said the right things. And again, like you said, and like everyone's saying, I expect Todd Downing to be the play caller Monday. And Hackett will do what he did in Green Bay with LaFleur. He'll organize the red zone plays, or what as he called it, the gold zone. Although it's always been the opposite of anything of gold. But he'll string up red zone plays. And God, get out of the 12 formation. Our tight ends can't block. Get out of it. Get rid of it from the playbook. No more 12 formation plays, because our tight ends are terrible pass blocking. I like Ruckert. I like Conklin, but they have not been shown the ability to run block. So just scrap that entire formation from the playbook for the time being.
I think at the end of the day, you look at this offense, and I think it just comes back to the fact you change the play caller, a wake-up call is sent, Ulbrich holds guys accountable. His energy, I think, will be infectious for the whole team, and it can't be any worse, No. So why not try it? That's kind of, I think, where they're at right now.
People say, and you're not going to change your whole offensive philosophy. So the best you can do is change a play caller, because people, you watch it with Orlowski. Our offense is a very stagnant offense. You see it if you watch every week. There's no motion. It's all stagnant. So you got to rely on other stuff to happen. So change a play caller. Maybe he'll make it a little bit more. add a little more movement, but it'll still be a very stagnant offense. You got to change something on the offensive side because Rodgers was saying it. They haven't been performing to their ability. And you're getting the defense who's top 5 in almost every category right now. They're top 2 in total defense, top 2 in pass defense, number 2 in pass defense. So you got to keep it going. And then I think they were 5 in scoring defense. So the defense is doing their job, and the offense got to pick it back up. Do what we did against New England. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what the offense should be shooting for every week.
Look, the defense has been, outside of the first game, very, very good. They've responded and been a top 5 defense again, top 3 in some categories you just brought up. That's a credit to Obrick because this team does not have as much talent defensively as they had last year. Jermaine Johnson's not here right now. He's hurt. Reddick has never been here. Huff is not here anymore. JFM is not here anymore. CJ Mosley has not played since the first quarter of week 2. Sauce has missed various parts of 2 games this year. Michael Carter didn't play against the Vikings, who entered the NFL with the best offense in the league last week. Accountability, man. Obrick gets the most out of his guys. We'll see if it works, but I don't think it could be worse. I think this was the right move. It was the right move to make. And Downing cannot be a worse play caller than Hackett. So I fully expect him to be the play caller on Monday. Idaho Jets with a super chat. You should have seen what Nick W. had to say. Went off. Does anyone actually care what Nick Wright says about the Jets? We know he hates the Jets. He hates Aaron Rodgers. He's hated him for years. I just don't put any stock into it. Let all these people dunk all over the Jets and take their shots. At the end of the day, everything the Jets want to do is still in front of them. They weren't winning with Robert Saleh. They're trying something new. Can't hurt. Win on Monday night. You're in first place. That's all that matters. Dre with a super chat. Remember what Saleh said, if you don't have haters, you ain't popping. He did say that. And now he's unemployed. Indomitable has gifted a channel membership.
Free stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of Indomitable's tremendous gesture is... I have no idea because YouTube is not showing me. But if you got it, you thank Indomitable for his greatness. Felix with a 20 spot. Oh, baby. The Chipotle is going to taste oh so sweet tonight, boys. And ladies. Hopefully this lights a fire in the team's ass and we can go on a run. We have a favorable schedule. Let's freaking go. I'm tired of losing. I agree with Woody. We have a very talented team and need to play to our potential. I was doing some digging here, right? Jets schedule the rest of the way. 5th easiest in the NFL. 10 East Coast games remaining. Their travel schedule is not much. They go out to Arizona, and that's their furthest trip left. Get it done. I mean, you look at Miami right now, they're not the same team. You play them twice at the end of the year. You play New England in a couple weeks. Get it going, man. When Aaron Rodgers says, I need to play better and I will, I believe him. They better protect him. That's the bottom line. Victor says, I've heard of coaches getting fired, but to get escorted by team security is rather interesting. Why? I think what happens here is Mike Florio spoke with Robert Saleh and then drummed up this whole cockamanian story that the Jets threw Saleh out and security escorted him out. That's not what happened. According to people on the Jets beat, the head of security walked with Robert Saleh to his car, which is protocol. Samini says it's not like they had to forcibly remove Saleh from the premises or anything of that nature. If you've never worked in a corporate environment, it's HR protocol to always have an escort with terminated employees. They would do the same thing if they fired a janitor at one Jets drive yesterday. It's kind of how this works. But, you know, Mike Florio is an asshole. Sorry, but he is. Ray with a super chat. I'm late. Sorry, your thoughts on Adams trade now. Ray, I appreciate it. Rewind about 10 minutes. I still think ultimately when he's traded, he's a Jet. I don't buy this. Oh, well, he could be a Raider still. I think Antonio Pierce is up there trying to drum up some leverage. Mr. Weed is on the Gusbuster hotline. He's next. What's up, Mr. Weed?
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
I'm living the dream, Weed. How are you? I'm bricked up, baby.
Good.
Let's go.
See, we got old Brick the Green. His face matches really well. It's hard to tell it's him.
Let me see. Let's go full screen here. Let's break it down. Yeah, I see it. It looks tremendous.
Yeah, that actually worked out a lot better than I expected it. I also wanted to show you this one.
Man of Steel.
It's the Lane of Steel.
Oh, Lane of Steel. Okay.
I put him on there, and he thought it was Superman, like really Superman. I thought it was funny.
Wow.
Anyway, I was watching Craig Carton earlier today, and I can't stand him, dude. It's showing dude, the last 5 weeks he's saying, if we lose this week, fire Saleh. If we lose this week, fire Saleh. And then this week they fire Saleh, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this team? And he said Aaron Rodgers is 100% responsible for him getting fired. I can't stand watching the media anymore. Can't stand it.
You know what's funny? I don't think Aaron Rodgers is responsible for this.
I don't think so.
But even if he was, most of this fan base would be like, good. Saleh's not the answer. He's not a Super Bowl winning coach. You're not going to win with this. So people think they're like, oh, we got the Jets here. It's like this fan base is actually very excited. Like usually when something like this happens, it's like, oh, this is dysfunctional. How could they do this? What are we doing? I would say, and I talk about the team every day for 365 days a year. I would say 90% of the reaction has been positive to this decision by ownership.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were, like you said, we're not getting anywhere with Saleh. I love the guy. He's a great guy. Hope nobody bullies his kids. But we weren't going to win with him. Wasn't going to happen. Olbert's going to bring that energy. He's the New York Dan Campbell. It's going to be great.
Let's go, baby. Mr. Weed in the house. Hit that like button if you're just tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a while, we're about to open up the Gusbuster umbrella because Felix just made it rain 20 membership.
Felix Campos, he wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman Show. Take the money.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining 20 channel memberships. I got to grab my umbrella. Here we go, baby. 20 channel memberships are being gifted. And we have 20 names to read, courtesy of the great Felix Campos. Are you kidding me? Dinner is served tonight, baby. John, Rome 1, Brewing, DG, Charlie Boy, Shaft, Daniel, Matthew Pennington, Jay Trinidad, Ashley Jimerson, Gustavo Vasquez, Wet Sox Entertainment, Scott Wilkes, Chris, Raider Chan, Nathan Jones, Frank Cius, Pure Adrenaline Sports, Ferris Grimm, Johnny Chirino. You are all official as maniacs. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Thank you to Felix for his incredible support. First time we've had a 20 spot in a long time, which means we open the Gusbuster umbrella when that happens. If you're new to the show, and we gained more subscribers yesterday than any day in the history of the channel, click on Felix's name now and turn on gift receipts if you want a free channel membership gifted your way. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. It's the only way for the YouTube algorithm to randomly select your name. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's get back to your calls right now and say hello to Indomitable, who was cut off earlier by the internet. What's up, Indomitable?
Jake, what's happening?
You tell me, my friend.
Hey, it was great to see Morgan Moses today and CJ Mosley. I saw the press conferences. I think that when they come back, the team is gonna benefit from their presence. Let me tell you something real quick. since Woody Johnson bought the team in the year 2000, we have the sixth worst record in the NFL. We are ranked 22nd in playoff wins, second to last in points per game, second to last in yards per game, and only one division title. So I think if this is not fixed quickly, man, if we don't win at least the AFC East and host at least one playoff game this year, I think that as a fan base, it might be time for us to demand that these clowns sell the team, because we're going on a quarter of a century of total incompetence. So it was a great move. I completely agree with the move with Saleh. I've been saying it for 2 weeks on the show. Saleh had to go. The demeanor rubbed off wrong on the team. But we also have to put an eye on Woody Johnson, man, because he's going on a quarter of a century, and basically it's total incompetence. I know that he didn't hire Saleh, but at the end of the day, he has made too many bad choices. And hopefully, like I said yesterday, this move to Brick is going to light a spark on the squad, and maybe it can bring a new era for the history of our malign love Jets, man. Have a great day, Jake.
And Dombo, I appreciate it. Look, the bottom line is this, though. You can't tell an owner to sell the team. I mean, you can. It doesn't mean he's going to. You can't fire the owner, man. Look, I know people don't want to hear this, but it's not like this team hasn't had success with Woody Johnson as the owner. It's been a while, obviously. But it's all about who you hire, and then you stay out of the way. You don't want an owner meddling. Now, in this case, sometimes you got to show some balls, and you do have to make a decision like what Woody did. But for the most part, you want to hire the right people and stay out of the way, and this regime had enough time. Saleh had enough time. He's in his fourth year. The record's 20-36. I could defend the record because he never had a quarterback, but then when you see it's the exact same thing, I'm sorry. I don't think it was going to get any better. I don't. But this team went to the playoffs in 2001, 02, 04, 06, 09, 2010. They never had back-to-back losing seasons from 2000 until 2016. And then Chris Johnson came in when Woody went overseas to be the ambassador for Trump, and that's where this playoff drought went into hyperdrive by missing on Sam Darnold and missing on Zach Wilson, getting it wrong with the coaching decisions like Bowles to Gase to now Saleh. Like, you hire the right people and stay out of the way. You know, James Dolan didn't figure out how to become a better owner. He hired Leon Rose, who hired Tom Thibodeau, and they've resurrected this franchise with accountability and smart decision-making. So the ownership thing is always tricky because the job of an owner is to hire the right people to run the franchise and support the team financially. I don't think Woody's been cheap. I don't think he's been cheap. Now, if money comes in the way of getting Davante, I'll have a different answer, but I don't think that's what's happening here. I don't. So, you know, ultimately, you can't fire the owner. So I just think it's a waste of time when it's like, sell the team. It's like, okay, you could tell Woody to sell the team. He could just say, I'm not going to. He can quote Nick Saban in that interview a few years ago. Sell the team, Woody. I'm not going to. So quit asking. Like, you know? James Dolan didn't figure out how to become a better owner all of a sudden. He just finally got it right with the people running his team. The Jets need to do the same thing. Hopefully, Ulbrich could be that guy. I think Douglas has actually built a very good team, which is why Woody, to me, was right for doing this now rather than waiting. Altoona with a super chat. He cuts the line. If JD somehow lets DA go to another team, I will officially be off the Joe Douglas bandwagon. I get it. If Davante is traded, he should be a Jet. Unless the return is something ridiculous, like a first-round pick and then some. But if it ends up being what's reported, a mid-round pick, worst case a 2, which I doubt, and it's not the Jets, shame on them. NY to Florida writes in. Hey, Jake, it's been too long. Why didn't we take the opportunity to get rid of Carter and Hackett? Both were hated by their players, Tennessee and Denver. Carter has a God complex. Veteran O-line, not happy. One thing with Hackett, he's not hated by his players. Now, Keith Carter certainly was. I don't know if hate was the right word, but, I mean, Taylor Lewan trashed him. Some Jet players last year, right? Brees was liking posts. Becton, I mean, Becton's a clown, but Becton was critical of him. To me, they should have made a change with the offensive line coach. They didn't. We'll see what Ulbrich does, though. He said that there's going to be some things they do differently. You heard Rodgers today say, we're going to make some changes. You heard him say that he's going to be on board with whatever Ulbrich decides to do. You heard Adam Schefter say Todd Downing is going to be the play caller on Monday night. He all but confirmed it. There's going to be some changes. Is it going to work? I mean, it can't be worse. The biggest thing is Aaron Rodgers says, I need to play better, and I know I will. If he plays better, it raises everyone else. It's a quarterback league. Still is. Jersey Jet says, prayers for Florida. Amen. Everyone down in Florida, stay safe. Kyle Clifton in the house. Felix 20 equals Smith and Walensky grill. Yeah, boy. I appreciate it, Kyle. A 20 spot, man. We haven't opened the Gus Buster on the air in a while. It was good to do it. Let's get some more channel members, baby. Who's making it rain? More of your calls right now on the Gus Buster umbrella hotline. Let's say hello to this guy.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hey, how you doing, Jake? How you feeling?
I'm good, Bobby. I like the robe.
I always wear the robe. What are you talking about?
Well, not every day.
Almost every day.
Okay, well, I won't compliment your robe anymore then if you don't want me to.
Felix is a nice guy, isn't he?
No, he's a terrible human being.
No, he's not. He gives you... And Alan's a nice guy, too. He gave
No. That's Felix, I'm just joking. Alan, the worst.
He gave you 10 memberships just so you should be nice to him.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, but yeah. You gotta be nice to Alan. He's good to you.
No, he's not. He's fine.
Yes, he is.
No. He's my arch nemesis, Bobby.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, arch nemesis don't usually give you money. So I don't know where you come from.
Say that again?
Arch nemesis never gives you money. So I don't know. When does that ever come in?
He can't buy my friendship, Bobby. That's what he was trying to do. He knows he was ducking the show for 3 months like a scoundrel, so then he came back. No, don't fall for it.
Well, he came on my show the other game.
I know, and then I joined your show, and he left right away on my way to the Yankee game the other night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't tell him to leave. He just left on his own.
Yep.
Not my fault. The Yankees win tonight, too. So
they better. Can you tell Aaron Judge to get a big hit?
And Dodgers will lose tonight again.
Okay.
Let's go. And the Mets will win tonight, too.
All right. And that was Bobby's prediction segment brought to you by maybe your
Asman Show.
Your advertisement brand.
Well, I don't have ads. Oh, yeah. Talk about advertisements. You know my friend, the guy from the Giants who was at the Jet game the other day?
No.
Yeah, you're the one who talked to him. You had him in the video. Justin Pugh.
Yes.
He wants to know how you get that he needs to get his channel. I don't know how to do it. So you should know how to get sponsorship.
This is riveting, Bobby. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm asking you, how do you get your sponsorships? Can you explain?
Every night I go to bed and I wish for sponsorships to show up at my door.
Oh, come on. Just he came to your show and it showed he was look at, and you were on his thing the other day, remember?
Oh, I do.
Okay, so be nice to the guy. He wants to know how.
I'm very nice. He's not asking me for sponsorships directly, Bobby. He's asking at people on YouTube.
Yeah, but how does he do that? He doesn't know how to do that.
I think he'll figure it out.
All right. Well, I'll just ask him a question. Okay. Well, have a great evening.
Are you Justin Pugh's agent? Is this why you're bringing this up?
No, Jake. He's a nice guy. Just ask a question.
I see.
Nice guy. Bye now.
Goodbye, Bob.
Well, you know, I've grown to love my buddy Alan, but South S has to go. I threw him off my show. Bobby!
I mean, Bobby, we're going to need you to bring it in these next couple calls, man. I mean, we don't need the Bobby prediction segment. And I'm telling you, Justin Pugh, who made millions in his career, he's doing just fine. But I'm friendly with him, so if he wants to seek my advice, believe me, he could reach out. I think he's doing okay. Speaking of sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, Huga House. Get the hat Aaron Rodgers is always wearing, 15% off by using promo code Asman at checkout. Buy one hat from Huga House, you'll get the second hat 30% off. Once again, HugaHouse.com, promo code Asman at checkout. More of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Ladies and gentlemen, this next guy is back from Disney.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Jake, my brother.
Mr.
What's up,
Bonesy,
buddy?
how was Disney World?
Terrible.
Really?
No, it was all right. It was decent. The weather wasn't friendly. It would be like super hot and humid in the morning, and then it would start raining mid-afternoon and rain the rest of the day. So, we've gotten lucky before going in October with great weather, and then this happens where we're coming home in a hurricane. But we made the best of it. It's still family. It was still fun. Because afterwards we went to visit some, my in-laws and stuff, and that was fun. So we had a good time. But so much has happened, man. I mean, I've been tuning in like when I can, listening on the replays and stuff. But my goodness, has this new news that's just dropped is very very crazy to me. I feel bad for Saleh in a way because, all the players respect him and they probably feel like shit. They feel really guilty. And everyone's saying that this has Aaron Rodgers' fingers on it. While I do agree Aaron Rodgers definitely signed off on it, like when Woody's talking and everybody's talking about like, oh yeah, I didn't ask Aaron Rodgers. We didn't talk about, if Saleh should go or not. Like that's not true. Like obviously Woody definitely talked to Rodgers about it and got his feelings on what he think the move would do. And you hate to say it, but I think Saleh's biggest mistake that he made on Sunday was not kicking that field goal. that was a really big mistake. And one thing we could say about Saleh and the defense, I don't think we don't need anything to change. He didn't call plays anyway. Brick did. He did great with it. Saleh just stood there and everyone hated him because of his sideline demeanor and how he didn't hold people accountable. And then he really dug his grave when he said that he won't discipline, the players. Like once he said that, it's just like, listen, I don't give a shit if you have to pretend discipline in front of everybody just to set an example. You got to do something. And then something that Saleh, I feel like, wants to say but never could say was, all these offensive penalties. And I think this is just a knock on him as a coach. He can't really help the offense with penalties. He can't help. You know what? He tried. He said they should stop the cadence. And it's just like, you moron. That's what Aaron Rodgers has been doing for 20 years. How could you say they should stop with the cadence? Like, He just made a couple mistakes, and
he just wasn't very good with the media. He would always say a couple things here or there that would be like, what? Like just my big thing with Saleh too, he just looked defeated, man. And Schefter even said as much today when talking about it. Like the New York media, the grind, all the losing, it took a toll on him, man. He wasn't the same fiery guy that he was when he first got here. The coach, like his mantra is all gas, no brakes. He would be a defeated guy on the sideline with that stoic look. You wouldn't see him talking to anyone. Like, after the game, you need to come out and say, hey, we lost. This is unacceptable. I don't want to hear, well, the defense did its job. No, you lost. Everyone needs to be held accountable when you lose. And I didn't get the sense that he was very angry after the Denver game. And then, after the game against the Vikings, like you came out and you were down 17-0 in a blink in that first half. And so you follow up a brutal performance where apparently the story goes, Woody basically told Saleh, like, you better turn this around. Then you have that performance against Minnesota in London where Woody's the former UK ambassador. The writing was on the wall that something like this could happen. I just didn't think it would be this soon, but I'm glad it happened now rather than waiting till after the Bills game.
Agreed. I because if you really, I think Saleh still, his personality, maybe it would work if we were winning. and you could actually get some wins. But he's never shown us like any fire or change, or it's just kind of like you've said it before, and Aaron Rodgers repeated today, the definition of insanity. How could you keep doing the same thing and expect something new to happen? And he should have took that as from a coaching standpoint. He seems defeated. He seems like there's too many things that, like, I guess since he's not good with X's and O's, he doesn't deal with. He can't change. He couldn't fix our offense from having bad penalties unless he was to yell and discipline. And since he doesn't do that, how's he going to get anything effectively done? I'm sure the players feel terrible. Saleh's a great guy. He's a good, like Roger said today, I saw him playing with Saleh's son every 5 clips, every One Jets Drive show. Like, I'm sure Saleh and Rodgers had a great relationship. It's not, they didn't have a bad relationship. It's just that Saleh wasn't really giving us anything, except the only thing I'll say that we will still see if it was true or not was and how much hand Saleh had in it was the development of the players. This is Saleh's coaching staff. This is all Saleh's boys, all Saleh's people. He put them all together. And the development on the defensive side of the ball has been fantastic. And I'm hoping that, that wasn't really, all Saleh. That wasn't like he didn't have a huge part in that. But when it comes to the X's and O's, he wasn't offering us much. Nothing's going to change except people are going to now be checked. Everyone just got checked. Like, fellas, this is no joke. Our man who I don't think they hate him. I think maybe some players, maybe some veteran players and some players who want to get more emotional, maybe they were mad because it's just like Saleh shows no emotion. He never shows like he's bothered. He never shows like he's mad. Like when he said to Rich Cimini, what do you want me to kick the podium? Yeah, bro. We want you to show how mad we get. People like you just traveled to London to watch this team, and we were all pretty confident that we were going to show out, and then we lose. Like, we start off 17-0.
Be angry. Like, it's okay to show some passion. Be like, hey, we lost to Denver. It is unacceptable how we played today. Like, and then, he's like, well, the weather obviously slowed us down a little. It's just like, no, man, like, be angry. And I think he was starting to lose the team, man. They could try and downplay Quincy Williams' comments all they want. I know Mosley tried to do that today because he's a solid guy. He doesn't want to bash the guy on the way out, but what was said, man. Like, the word accountability was used by the players today over and over again. What do you think that means? Like, come on.
Yeah, no, they need. I think it's obvious that there's some need for discipline on the team, and Saleh is just everybody's friend. And while there are probably players who love that, like, man, my coach is never going to chew me out in public. He's never going to embarrass me. He's never going to really Saleh delegated everything. I remember one time in an interview, Rodgers said, like, one of Saleh's skill sets is that he delegates everything. He trusts people with jobs and stuff. And it's like, bro, that would work if you're winning, but everyone can't be Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh in Baltimore, that they're not really coaching either side of the ball and they're still considered a fantastic coach. You need to win and show other signs of being a good coach. His in-clock management has been suspect. He's cost us a couple games before with that, and I've always given him the benefit of the doubt. And I guess, look, man, we needed a change. Hopefully this starts a fire under everyone's ass. Everyone's, going to be held accountable now. So, and one thing I'll say, listening to all the Joe Douglas stuff with Gary and everything, you guys know how I feel about him. Joe Douglas better get the Davante trade done. If Joe Douglas lets Davante go to a different team, boy, I tell you, it's not happening. It is 100% getting Davante. I thought it was going to happen this week. Maybe he's hurt, and that's why, maybe his hamstring wasn't complete bullshit because I thought it was. Maybe his hamstring is hurt, and it's like, listen, he wasn't going to dress this week anyway, so let's get another week of the NFL to go down, and maybe the Raiders, because I don't think he's going to give up a second. And I don't think any team's giving a second, so the third will get it done. I've heard the Corley possibilities. How do you feel about that? Would you be like, say it was like instead of a third, say it was like Corley and a fifth? Would you do that?
I probably would do that.
Would you give up on? I think I would too, because the way Rodgers plays, he needs Davante to help get everybody. He needs the time with Garrett, and it's not. I wish we had last year, because you can tell there's growing pains. It's not easy when you're a receiver like Garrett just to get completely on the same page. One thing I'll say about Rodgers, he kind of is demanding them to be perfect. Like, he wants them to know how to adjust on the fly and how Rodgers wants to play. Like that pass to Mike Williams, that was pass interference, but he didn't adjust correctly. And if you have Davante there, because obviously him and Allen Lazard are on the same page.
Bonesy, to your point though, like the guy who's on the same page and has the best chemistry with Aaron Rodgers is Lazard, and the problem is he can't catch. He could get open with Rodgers.
Oh,
Rodgers
yeah, I was about to say that.
But he can't catch. So get Davante Adams, because you're all in this year anyway. And if you had to trade Corley to get it done, okay, if they want Corley, great. I'd rather that than having to trade a better draft pick. Then I would protect my 2/3 and keep my second. Yeah, I think it's going to take a 3rd round pick to get this done, and that's where it ends up. What ends up happening.
Me too. I was just about to say that. How many passes did Lazard drop that were game-changing plays? I mean, Rodgers threw almost into triple coverage, and it hit. It was the most accurate, perfectly placed pass I've ever seen. It hit Lazard in the hands. Lazard can't be counted on like that. It's obvious. Lazard can help us, but he can't be the only guy on the same page that when Rodgers needs a ball, he goes to Lazard, and it's like Lazard's dropping these big catches. So if we had Davante, then we could have this time where him and Garrett could actually learn and get on the same page, but in those tight spots, you don't have to worry about just going to Lazard, So, but let's go, fellas. 2-3, playing for the division lead. We're still alive. Hopefully, Ulbrich lights a fire, and get it done, JD. Joey 3 legs, get it done, baby, because we need Davante.
Space Mountain was great.
Bro, I didn't even go on any adult rides. It was so hot. My kids were being such a pain in the ass and miserable. We went on all the kid rides that we could go as a family. The Teacup, Aladdin, the Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh, the Toy Store. Every kid that we could go as a group family, we hit up a couple times, but we didn't go on any cool rides. I didn't get to really, do my thing. I was in dad mode. So
wow.
But,
this is
got to take one for the team.
This is tough. This is tough. But you know what?
Well,
that's why
I've been missing you though, bro. I've been missing you.
You're a Father of the Year award winner. This is why.
Yeah. JD, make it happy, man. The Mets have been holding up my my vacation, making it much better. I mean, it was tough, and then the Mets kept it rolling. Then when the Jets lost, I was just like, I felt bad for you guys, man. Like, you went specifically. The only reason Jake Asman is going to London is for the Jets. No other reason could get his ass there. And then we take the loss. It's just like, come on, Jets. That's why Saleh's gone. Is because Woody and everyone in the world knows we needed that dub. That was our game to win. So,
I thought you were. I thought you were about to say Saleh's gone because I went to London and they lost. But now you're saying Woody. Okay.
No. Saleh's gone because we lost that game. That was after the Denver debacle, man. You can't come out and go down 17-0 with Woody's homies in the building. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's just not happening. But
Bonesy.
Oh, and Orb said that everybody was talking shit while I was gone. Allen, Mr. Reality, Bang. You guys know where I'll be if you guys want to battle. All right.
He'll be at Alden's, baby, selling the shoes. Hit the like button if you're tuning in, if you're one of the 700 people watching live right now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yesterday was the most viewed day in the history of this channel. Insane. The live show we did when Saleh was fired with Joe B on, as of now, has almost 61,000 views. Insane. Insane. Best fans in sports. Mr. McMoney says, I wish Saleh had Rex energy. Well, that's the thing, right? That was what it was originally supposed to be, it felt like. That was like the persona that Saleh was bringing. All gas, no brakes, the fiery DC from the Niners. He never was that guy. I think the losing took a toll on him. Obrick's way closer to Rex energy than Saleh is. David D in the house. He says, congrats on getting 39,000 subscribers, Jake. 40K is around the corner. Go New York Jets. I appreciate you, David. Smash that like button. Let's get to more of your calls. Let's say hello to Purple Belt Mike. PBM, what do you got?
What's up? Let me start off saying I don't care what it takes to get Davante, and this is why. If I can offer you right now, let's just say a first-round pick, but it guarantees you the playoffs, would you give it up?
First-round pick, but I'm guaranteed to go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I would, but in this hypothetical scenario, that wouldn't be reality.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because Davante will get us to the playoffs. And the reason why is not only because
you don't know
him,
that. You don't know that.
I do, because all the receivers are not on the same page.
What if he gets hurt? What if Aaron gets hurt again? Then you're out of a first-round pick, and you're going to probably need a quarterback. It's too risky. You don't trade away a one.
All right, I understand the one, but they're asking for a two. So that's why I'm saying I would give up a first-round pick for the playoffs. So I would give up the second-round pick for Davante and bet on the fact that he can help the rest of the receivers get on the same page, and we can win some goddamn games.
Correct.
I'm tired of losing.
Mike, if it took a two to get it done, I would agree with you. I think right now the Jets don't want to bid against themselves. They think they could get this done for a three, and that's the holdup here. I don't think there's any other team involved. Derek Carr missing now a month, I think, kind of puts a kibosh to the Saints.
If he goes to the Steelers for a 3 and a 5, I'm going to lose my
Joe Douglas should be
pick.
ripped to the high heavens if it's a 3rd and a 5, and he goes to Pittsburgh, a team with Justin Fields or Russell Wilson throwing to him. Here's the thing, too. I don't think Davante wants to go there. And I think Davante has some leverage here by simply saying he's not going to redo his contract for any team that's not the Jets. That's a big thing he could pull, which I think he's probably pulling that. I do. Because I think him and Rodgers have obviously discussed playing together, and there's a way to get this done.
And the reason why I'm wearing this shirt is because the last time I wore this, I had a hell of a day at training camp. The vibes were great, and I was saving this to wear again for the playoffs. But I need the good vibes. I need that good emotion I got from training camp, so I'm putting it on now. Bills, we need to beat them. Please, Jets, please. I'm going to that game. I don't want to see another loss. I want to win, man. I'm tired of the losing. I've seen a lot of losing in my life between all the teams that I root for, and the only team that's actually shown some fight is my Mets, which I gotta watch in a few minutes. But come on, Jets, let's turn this shit around. Let's get to first place and go from there. Let's not lose the season on Monday. Let's get first place and move forward.
PBM, before you go, you're wearing the Jake Asman tank top, inspired by Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Can you give me an before you get out of here? Thank you very much. Tremendous. Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike. I should have asked him to give us a Gorman chew. There it is. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Paulie Yo. Hello, Paulie Yo.
Hey, Jay. First time caller, man. You're doing a great job, man. I love your show.
Appreciate it.
And I really appreciate it now in a time of commiseration, as we kind of go down this rabbit hole with the team again.
Not this time, though. Not this time.
The
season is still alive. They're playing for first place on Monday. Let's go.
I get it. It's like the incident with the girlfriend. You're just like, oh, what just happened? I think it was 94 when we let Carroll go. And he lost the team. Is why he went. Like, I liked the way they were playing. I remember watching them, and we played well. And then we tanked at the end of the season. And when they say, the coach has lost the team, it means the team has lost confidence in the coach. That's a big deal for a guy like Saleh, who's supposed to be the utmost of confident guy. Everybody said when we hired him, compared to Gase, right? He stood at that podium and he displayed his confident manner, and his whole demeanor had changed. The script flipped You guys called it at the beginning of the season that that he was on notice. And after the first San Francisco game, I looked at him and said, that San Francisco play, what we did on prime time, didn't help him one little bit. And even though we won, as you saw, nothing really helped them. I mean, the New England game just was an aberration again, right? They are so terrible.
Everything about that game was an aberration. The weather was good. They played the Patriots and killed them. Great quarterback play. I mean, it was supposed to be the start of something, and then they immediately lose with 9 days to get ready for a rookie quarterback, and that's where Saleh lost me.
At the beginning of the season, I made like a list of like my top 10 things, like burning issues with the team. And my number one burning issue was offensive penalties, because they're the ones you have control over, right? The defensive penalties sort of happen a lot of times, bad position and whatnot. And once I saw that wasn't fixed, I think that ultimately is the beginning of the death nail. And so, the head was cut off. Right now, as a pro athlete, everybody's on jitters now. So you either rise to the occasion or you don't. I hope Rick does what we all hope he does and turns around the season, and he can make a new career for himself. Boom. What do you think?
Yeah, look, Obrick was the right choice if they were going to do this. Is it going to work? I mean, I have no idea. People will say there's never been an interim coach that's led a team to the playoffs. I think this is a very misleading stat. John Gruden technically resigned when the team was 3-2. He was fired. The interim coach, Rich Bisaccia, got that team to the playoffs. It was a mistake not to make him the permanent coach. They hired Josh McDaniels. How'd that work out? Fact of the matter is this. How often does an interim coach take over a team this early in the year? Usually when you have an interim coach, it's at the end of the year and the season's over already. This team's 2-3 with a chance to go into first place with a win on Monday. So it's a very unique situation. How often has the interim coach had a Hall of Fame quarterback and this roster? I mean, seriously, this defense right now is in the top 5 in every category. I'll give credit to Brian Costello of the Post. Every week he tweets out the offense and defensive team stats. Jets defense is second in the NFL in total defense. They're 14th against the run, second against the pass, and 5th in scoring, tied for 5th. It's a top 5 defense again, top 3. It's a very unique situation here. That's why when everyone's saying, Woody Johnson's never fired a coach in season. And yeah, he hasn't. But I think all of us were saying, this is a very unique scenario here. Your quarterback's 40. You're in win now mode. And Woody didn't hire Saleh. His brother did. I don't think Woody was against the move necessarily, but when Saleh was hired, that was Chris Johnson and Joe Douglas leading the interview process. So you combine all these factors and from the outside looking in, you're like, how could they do this? It's like, well, they did this because it's a very unique situation we have here. They have a finite amount of time. The coach has proven he's not the guy. And I don't know if Obrick is, but you got to try something. Indomitable with a super chat. He cuts the line. Saleh is the best example that nice guys always finish last. Sometimes in order to succeed, you have to be cold. I agree. I think Saleh tried to walk the line of being everyone's friend. And then also the mini camp stuff with Rodgers, that was handled so poorly. It felt like he was trying to kind of subtly take back some power in the organization. And he just completely botched that situation. If he had just said weeks ago, hey, Aaron's not going to be here these 2 days. He'll be at everything else. It's not a big deal. But because it was sprung on us on a Friday, we have 2 unexcused absences. Using the word unexcused was ridiculous. Even if that's what it is. You don't put your quarterback in that spot where he was trashed for a month straight by all these morons in June who needed content when it was the biggest nothing burger of all time. The cadence thing was a bad look. I mean, there's just... There was too many things. Louis with a $20 super chat. Oh, baby. Cha-ching. Louis writes in, hey, Jake, do you really feel comfortable paying Sauce $30 million a year the way he's played this year? Or would you hit him with a 5th-year option? He's still under contract for at least next year. He's under contract for 2 more years. Let's see how the year goes. You don't have to pay Sauce early. If he was coming off another all-pro season, you'd be better off paying him early because then you could save some cap space over the course of the deal. But if he doesn't have a great season, we'll see what happens. We're 5 games in. I don't think we need to worry about the Sauce contract situation. He's under contract for 2 more years. They're obviously going to pick up his option. Right now, no, you wouldn't pay Sauce $30 million a year, but we're also talking about 5 games. Mr. Reality writes in, Sauce is kind of dopey too. I would trade and start piling picks for Arch Manning in 2027. The next time we hear from you, Mr. Reality, might be 2027. Goodbye.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Gator going to need that updated too. Give me another 2 years and however many days it is till 2027. Moron. More of your calls right now. We need some intelligence on this show. And there's really only one person I could bring on that can provide that level of intellect we need at this moment in time.
V-Man is here. How we feeling?
High as a kite.
Hello, V-Man. V-Man? V-Man. Hello. Look at this angle. Now this is something. V-Man, you there? We heard him for a second. I heard that moaning. V-Man. He's gone. Wow. V-Man, call back. We really could have used some insight. Let's go to Gary. He's next. Hello, Gary.
This Arch Manning thing, like the Giant fans are saying this too. At least I understand it when they say because they had a relative, but when you just start tanking for Arch Manning, I like Arch Manning too. I've been saying he should start. Y'all realize he's played 2.5 games, and one of them was against University of Louisiana Monroe.
What grade do you have on Arch Manning, Gary? First overall?
Can he play more than 2 games before I give him a grade?
No, you're the quarterback guru. I need your breakdown.
And just like Trey Lance, I need him to actually get on the field. He looks good. He looks like a first-round pick, Jake, but it's been 2.5 games.
Okay.
One is against UL Monroe, and another one is against UT San Antonio. Can we watch him against? He looks good. I want to start him against Oklahoma. He's better than Quinn. It looks like, but let's just chill. Have I not been saying that? Have I not?
I don't know what you've been saying, Gary. Continue.
I've been saying he's better than Quinn. I just hope that the next coach, whoever we get, has temper tantrums, throws complete hissy fits, has meltdown, kicks, breaks things, screams in men's faces, and just basically cries and acts completely effeminate all the time, because then the fan base will like him. This doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys don't like Saleh because he's stoic? I don't understand.
They don't like Saleh because he didn't win enough. That's what it comes down to.
It doesn't hold up to the GM, though. Would you agree with me? At least in this circle, the favorite player on the team is Joe Douglas.
What do you're saying Jet fans, their favorite player on this
least
team?
In this circle, the Jets' favorite player is Joe Douglas.
No, I would not agree with that at all. What planet
They don't like Brees. They don't like Sosa anymore. CJ's no good. The only guy they seem to like is Joe Douglas. I don't know.
No, stop it. That's ridiculous.
When my first ever job I had in boxing, I worked with Lou DiBella, and he told me, Gary, no one ever comes to see the promoter. Nobody cares about the promoter.
No one's coming to see Joe Douglas. We all acknowledge the team is just talented. They haven't played to their potential yet. That's why we're angry.
Okay. Everyone else is allowed to be criticized, but if you say I don't understand
Douglas should be criticized. I have criticized him probably more than any other voice who was killing him for the Zach Wilson thing from April of last year. I never wanted Zach to be on the team, ever. They made the Rodgers trade. In that same show, I went back and looked. I was saying, get rid of Zach, get a real backup quarterback. Now, I said it the day they got Rodgers.
Good. No, that's good. That's good. But like Bonesy and I can't say anything about Joe Douglas without everyone telling me he hit on a second round running back. It's like, who cares? Second round running backs don't change your franchise. And he's really
Today's
good.
not about Joe Douglas, Gary. It's not.
We're talking about the head coach. And look, Saleh, this is probably the right decision. It probably came late. Probably should have been done in the offseason, but my only concern now is this ship is going to go one of two directions. It's either going to sink like the Titanic or it's going to be smooth sailings. And I'm nervous, and I think we're going to have an answer on Monday.
Well, wasn't it sinking with Saleh, though? They were 2-3 with back-to-back losses against a rookie quarterback at home, and then Sam Darnold, who didn't even play well, and you were down 17-0, and you didn't come ready to play.
It's fair, Jake. It's fair. Like that's a fair point. It wasn't smooth sailing with Saleh. So I mean, that's fine. And we're probably one loss away from that ship sinking anyway. You got a veteran team. The veteran team starts 2-4. It could be all bets are off. That's true.
Right. So they made the move now. You know, in hindsight, if we knew they were going to start 2-3, they probably should have just fired Saleh last offseason. I don't think they could. I think it was a very unique situation with Rodgers getting hurt 4 plays in and Saleh still winning 7 games with the 32nd ranked quarterback room. It's like you had to give him a chance. And unfortunately, what we saw last year proved to be it wasn't just the quarterback. The coach is also a problem. And that's where we're at. But they did it now. They could still salvage the season. They have the 5th easiest schedule remaining in the NFL. They're at home on Monday night playing for first place. It's all right in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the season's long from gone. We're 2-3. It's not 0-5. The season's long from over, right? We win on Monday. We're in first place. So keep that in mind. The other thing, this Aaron Rodgers with the Jets thing is really having these eerie, like PTSD moments with Kevin Durant and the Nets. It really is. And I know it's not a perfect analogy, but it just feels that way. Like Rodgers can say what he wants. He may have not gotten Saleh fired, but he certainly had a hand in it. The same way Kevin Durant had a hand in getting Steve Nash fired.
Well, if Rodgers plays better, I mean, like Rodgers made a good point during the interview. He's like, as players, we got to be accountable because if, like, for example, if I played better, Robert would still be here right now. Like he said that. So, I mean, it is what it is, though, man. I mean, the coach had his chance. The team's 2-3. They made the move. I don't think this is a Kevin Durant net situation yet. I mean, go win on Monday. They're in first place. You know, Aaron Rodgers said today, I need to play better, and I will. I believe him. I think he'll play better. I think they have a great chance to win on Monday.
But what I'm saying is Kevin Durant ran the Nets. Like, we could say that he didn't, but he clearly did, right?
It's different in football, though. It's different in football than basketball.
They've gotten everyone. Why is Hackett here? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are these guys
but Hackett's not going to be the
Rodgers?
play caller anymore. Like, that's notable.
Yeah, if they just let Rodgers call the plays, I'd be more comfortable with that.
That, to me, is not a solution either because you need to have someone that knows what they're doing for the personnel on the field.
Agreed.
Rodgers can't be worried about who's out there. He's got to have somebody trust getting the right people out there for the right plays.
I agree. I was being a little facetious, but I'm just saying it's not been good with Hackett. You guys, not you, maybe not you personally, but Jet community as a whole hated LaFleur, and I didn't really understand that. I thought he created for what he had to work with, but that's not really here nor there. It's Monday, Jake. Like I think we're going to get a lot of answers if we blow them out. If we go in and smack around Buffalo, I think
if they blow them out, if they blow them out, that'd be stunning. I think it's going to be a game.
Just beat them, right? But I think this is going to be either like 100 miles an hour or it's going to be 100 miles per hour into the ground. Like I think we're gonna find things out on Monday.
I hope you're right, Gary. I hope they win.
All right, I got to go watch my Mets now.
Enjoy yourself.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs.
What a call from Gary. Incredible. Captain Swanson with a super chat. When the Bills whip us, what player will we beg for next? This is such a stupid comment. The idea that we as Jet fans should not advocate for our team that's all in to win this year to a point where they fired the head coach 5 games in because we know this team should be better. You're going to try and say, oh, we're somehow stupid for wanting Davante. You're just an idiot. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. We're not going to be begging for anything. They made the move. I'm going to throw my support behind this team and this intern head coach until I have reason not to. You know? They're playing for first place on Monday night, Captain Swanson. So if you want to be negative and say the Bills are going to whip us when the Jets have beaten this Bills team the last 2 years with an inferior quarterback, I got nothing for you other than this. F you. F you. F you too. Good God, man. Sean's up next on the Gus Buster hotline today. Hello, Sean.
I'm calling you live from a hurricane. I just went out to get some more beer because all the beer I bought for the hurricane, I drank it all. So I'm just out here to get some more beer, and got 2 small kids at home, so figure I could use a break. Couple quick points here.
Stay safe, Sean. Stay safe down there.
I will. It's not here yet, so it's just raining. So
when does it actually start?
Well, they're going to feel it down in Tampa in the next couple hours. It should make landfall in about 4 or 5 hours. I'm up in St. Augustine, just south of Jacksonville, so we're not going to get it too bad. But I just drove through several flooded roads, so it's getting there. So this is my last venture outside probably for a while. Couple quick things with Woody. I mean, people need to understand he's a billionaire. He's made bad deals. He's lost more money probably on certain transactions than we'll ever make. He cut his losses. And I think he realized he knew Saleh wasn't that guy. And he also knew that we probably have a pretty good chance of beating the Bills anyway. We always play them tough. And especially now with Allen being injured, the worst thing that could have happened is Saleh could have won. And then how do you fire a coach who's in first place? So I think Woody knew he had to do it now. And I applaud him for cutting his losses and making a good decision on that. I would also say I think that Ulbrich is going to be the right guy for the job right now. I mean, look at how many times the defense has won us games and the offense is just pissed in their face. Most defensive players would have said, screw it. What am I doing this for other than putting good game tape on? The fact that he kept that defense for the last 3 years motivated enough to still go out there and win us games when they knew the offense wasn't going to do jack shit shows what a motivator he is to his team.
Agreed.
And I think that's going to be the big thing with the offense. I also took from his press conference, he had mentioned, when someone asked him about the play calling on the offense, he said, we're going into this week with who we have, essentially. But he said, but after that, we're going to reassess. Don't be shocked if we get a college coach or someone in here as the OC, or someone else gets promoted to call the plays, because I just don't, if they're going to fire Saleh, I just feel that call Rodgers had with Woody on Monday night, I don't see them only discussing Saleh and not also bringing up Hackett. I just don't think they would have had A without covering B. So I would expect, or I'm keeping my eyes open to something happening at OC in the next couple weeks. And then last quick thing, Gary, I don't want to make it personal, but he's clearly been hitting the head a lot because those takes are just awful. People have been riding Joe Douglas forever. He eats gas station pizza, doesn't put chicken with his pasta. The only good choice I could say he made was the nanny, but he said his wife picked her. So I don't see any good choice he's made other than being a Jets and Mets fan.
We can actually question those choices. If you've been a Yankee Giant fan, you would have seen some championships,
Yeah. So, I just hope he's okay. And that's really all I got. I just had to get a couple quick points in for a tree falls on me.
Well, Sean, I want you to stay safe, man. Great call. Hang in there, all right?
I'm going to get some Four Loko, and this night's going to turn up real quick. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean, checking in. Great call. Sean's become quite the regular. Formerly Bobby's Gooch, I believe. Or Bobby's Big, what was he? Bobby's Salty Nuts or something like that. But he's become a real Asmaniac. You got to respect that. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Before we get to our next caller, let me play this.
And this is my nanny, babysitter, assistant, helper lady.
Hello.
Hello.
She goes to Oklahoma.
Morgan, how long have you been a nanny to Decker? 3 years. Since 2021. Wow. Yeah.
You and Gary's wife have done a great job because there's no way Decker turned out the way she did because of Gary. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here, and this is for everyone. You know who you are.
Calm your freaky down.
Just saying. Eric says, good thing Jake didn't put Bobby on. Could you imagine? Some of these comments, man. Jake, you don't want to read the comments. Oh, it's true. I can't even read these comments, man. You guys are terrible. Gary, what are your thoughts on everyone seemingly being a big fan of your nanny?
She's fantastic. She's the best.
She is. That she is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Gary's nanny needs her own emoji. This chat is going wild today, folks. All right. Richard Todd is watching the show in delay, says, just saw Gary's nanny. Interesting. What's so interesting about it? Top Cat says we need Scott to normalize the chat again. What a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, after an internet snafu for the ages, V-Man has returned.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, V-Man.
What's up, Jay? How you doing?
I'm good. Why do you sound like you're half asleep?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, Gary's take. Like, you know, sometimes with Gary's take, they can be a little out there.
The irony of that, but continue.
Yeah, no, but want to talk more about like what I mentioned in the previous call I was on with Ulbrich and what he brings to the team. Like, I do think with being a former player, you know, it brings. I think he can bring energy. I think he can bring it brings a bit more accountability. I think the big thing is, you know, just being able to help deal with some of those mistakes. Being able to, you know, if he can get in there, you know, because call out some of the mistakes, you know, go on the sideline, talk to these guys, and say, hey, look, you know, you got to clean up these penalties. You can't be making these boneheaded plays, these boneheaded penalties every time we're taking the field.
3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and V-Man's bed being made.
Yeah, I guess so. But, I mean, yeah, no. And they also forget Hector being mad at me for being the quote-unquote fake Puerto Rican. That's the other constant.
You're a real Puerto Rican, V-Man. Don't listen to the haters.
No, I am. I know I am. I mean, like I said, that's why I wear. That's why I got the hat on. That's why I got the hat. I got the hat. That's why I got the patch. That's why I got the Lares patch. I got the Nationalist Party pin on my denim jacket. Because I know my history and I know my culture. But yeah, but we're getting back to football. Like I said, with Ulbrich, like I said, I'm also excited to see the fact that they're going to change the offensive plays around. Look, any change is good right now because what we're doing right now is clearly not working. And look, Downing isn't some offensive savant, but he simply can't be worse than, you know, what we have right now. And we need some change. And with the change right now, we still have a chance to make the playoffs at this stage. You know, this is a game for first place. You said it. We've said it before. Allen's banged up. The Jets have played the Bills very well, especially at home. This is a game that we have every shot in the world of winning. And, you know, like, I think we can win this game. It's all about, you know, coming in here, playing
all right,
clean, smart, efficient football, and, you know, hitting them hitting them hard. If you want me to play, actually, I have this tuned to open E. So like only one song I can really, and I have I have the homemade slide. I actually got this from. I just broke a bottle and I sanded it down to get a glass slide, right? I guess you want. All right. All right. Here's one of the last. Here's a Rolling Stones song. Last ones where all of the original members contributed equally. Someone made a Some Girls oh my God, a Miss You reference. That is good. That is a good reference. But that's about it. But I guess that song is quite fitting for Robert Saleh because if we have no expectations to see him again.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Kings say kings. V-Man, one of the greats. V-Man needed a good call there to remind everyone that everyone's talking about Gorman and Lane and Bobby being 1 seeds. V-Man was an OG before any of those on this show. Long time Jake Asman viewers, remember. Ladies and gentlemen, more people are on hold right now, including some real legends. Ladies and gentlemen, we check in now down in Florida where Gator McCluskey is standing by. Hello, Gator.
What's up, brother? You hear me?
Oh, we hear you. How's the hurricane?
It comes and goes. It comes and goes. But I did want to do this for you.
Oh, God.
No, it's not something I'm dying to do, but I feel like I should. The winds come and go. But, you ready? Can you see me?
We see you.
Here it is. From Hurricane Milton in Tampa, Florida. J. E. C. Yes. 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 Let's go.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator McCluskey, everybody. That was spectacular. I'm bricked up, guys. All right. Even in a hurricane, this fan base is ready to roll, man. Let's go, baby. Hashtag brick up. Spread the word, Jet fans. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on the Gustbuster Hotline is Dre. Hello, Dre.
How you doing, Jake? Apologize for the bad audio. Hold on. Still chilly in here. Trying to roll up the windows. And it is what it is. I understand.
The best is Dre thinking rolling up the windows was how bad. Your call was shit no matter what you did there. That's like Robert Saleh going from Zach Wilson to Tim Boyle. You're effed either way. Oh, man. Hey, the Jake Asman Show is available in podcast form on either Apple or Spotify. Search the Jake Asman Show wherever you get your podcast and find it there. Alan writes in, Alan, you were on hold. I was going to you next. I was going to put you on with Dre, and then you ruined the surprise. I thought Dre was dead. Now I know his audio is. Correct. I miss Dre's cubicle calls, man. The Jets haven't won a game all year since Dre was at his cubicle. Maybe we got to bring that back. Big fella in the house. Super chat. Jake, what if for some reason the Raiders keep Adams short term? Not saying that's happening, but how does that reflect on JD? Look, I'm not giving up a first or anything like that. I think it's posturing, man. Like I don't think he's going to play for the Raiders again. I could be dead wrong, but I don't think I am. If I'm the Jets, I'm not letting him play for the Raiders again. I think it'd be a bad look if Douglas can't get this done. He wants to play for you. The Raiders don't want him. They're not going anywhere. They're starting Aiden O'Connell this week at quarterback. Like, it's over. Like, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuned in live right now, please subscribe to the channel. We hit 39,000 subscribers earlier today. So thank you to everyone who supports the show. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children!
Jacob, how are you? 2 comments, and then I have to address the elephant in the room.
Oh, God.
First of all, whether you're on the couch or not, Doug, you will always be irrelevant. So don't worry, okay?
Come on,
just stay
man.
there and say nothing.
Doug's a good guy. Stop it.
Doug is not a good guy. He's useless, okay?
How do you know he's useless? You don't know Doug.
Come on, he's useless. Trust me. Number 2, to my good friend Bonesy, if I ever get to that hellhole city again and I walk over to Alden, the only Bonesy I want to see is Joe. I have no interest in seeing you, okay? So now I need to address the elephant in the room because all day I keep on seeing your face all over the place. I see the Jake Asman face on every network and every website. Okay. Well, I'm not going to talk on behalf of Joe. I'm going to talk on behalf of me and my comments yesterday. First of all the racist comments addressed to me after my call was quite funny. I'll tell you that. First of all, I'm not racist. I just hate everybody. Okay. First of all, I'll just say that. Okay. Secondly, Robert Saleh was fired because he's incompetent. Okay. He did not get fired because he wore that flag. Okay. But let me address something. Woody Johnson was the former ambassador of the UK. He goes to the UK last week and he sees his coach wear that. Knowing that his former and future boss must have been livid. So to me, I truly believe there were calls made afterwards. I don't think he got fired for what he wore. Okay. He got fired, but he was incompetent. But I do not think that Woody Johnson was particularly happy with him wearing that on the sidelines. I'm just going to address it. I don't know what Joe said. Joe said the reason he got fired was because he wore that thing.
That's not what he said. Joe speculated that maybe that could have played a role. And the New York Post, I thought, did him dirty with the headline, basically saying, like, Beningo says Saleh got fired because he wore. That's not what Joe said if you watch it back. But
he did him. I thought the Post did him dirty. And what Greg Giannotti said today was disgusting. Greg Giannotti doesn't have any talent, and he has to go after Joe B. So he needs to pipe his mouth out. But again, I don't think Woody Johnson was particularly happy that his former coach was wearing that on the sidelines. I'm actually shocked he allowed him to do that.
Alan, let's be real though. Robert Saleh could wear an ISIS flag, and if the Jets were 4-1, no one would care. It has nothing to do with the flag.
No, I did not say that was the reason he got fired. Okay, he got fired because he was incompetent and the team was gone. He lost the team. But to say that Woody Johnson was particularly happy that his former coach wore that, you cannot say that he was. And I bet you there were people in his ears after the game and saying, what the hell is your coach doing wearing that on the sidelines? I truly believe that happened. That is not the reason why he got fired. He got fired because he lost the team and he was beyond incompetent. That's all I have to say. And I know people said I'm racist and this and that. That's where all the comments were afterwards after my call yesterday. Okay. I'm not racist. I just hate everybody, but I will not be called racist because there's tension throughout the world. And the coach decided to wear that on the sideline on national television. I was shocked that the owner allowed him to do that. I really was. I was shocked that he did.
Well, it's not the first time he's worn it, though.
But to wear it on national TV.
He wore it on national TV last year, too. Week 6 and week 7 he wore it.
We are in a completely different state right now, especially with the election 4 weeks away. And with all the tension that's going on around the world, especially one day after what happened on October 7th, or the weekend that happened October 7th, I was shocked he allowed him to wear that on the sidelines. Again, I don't want to get political here, but
we're good. Trump had nothing to do with Robert Saleh being fired. Let's stop. He got fired for the reason you outlined. He wasn't a good coach. He was 20-36. They were 2-3. They should have been at least 3-2, if not 4-1. That's why he got fired. That's what happened here. I mean, come on now. Ralphie Rocks with a super chat. Think Woody wanted to fire Saleh on the offseason. I think he strongly considered it. But for continuity purposes, he let him start the year, and he wasn't going to let the season blow up in flames. People are saying, oh, this is same old Jets. Same old Jets would be to let Saleh coach the remaining games and not do something proactive. 25 years, Woody's never made an in-season change. It speaks volumes he's doing it now. Big fella with a super chat. I already read this one. So I apologize, Ralphie Rocks. I didn't see yours before this. AZ Frankie in the house. Can Obrick fix the offense? Same offensive staff. Different play caller. Maybe a different strategy. Maybe some accountability. Maybe the team will be fired up, ready to go at the beginning. Alan says, I never said Trump was the reason he got canned, but Woody had to be pissed seeing that. We don't know. I think Woody was pissed that the team was 2-3, despite the fact they should be a lot better. I think Woody was pissed they trailed 17-0 after they were embarrassed by a rookie quarterback at home last week. I don't think everything needs to be a conspiracy theory or political. I think we could just focus on the sports angle in that Robert Saleh, unfortunately, wasn't a very good coach. He's a great guy. He'll be a DC in 5 minutes this offseason if he wants to be. But I don't think we need to make everything political. Could the Jets just win on Monday? For the love of God, I can't do this anymore. I'm telling you, Saleh could wear an ISIS flag, and if the team was 4-1, no one cares. I don't even know if ISIS has flags. I'm assuming they do. I don't. God bless. I mean, I just want to win, man. We're football fans. We root for our team. Just win games, dude. That's all that matters. For the love of God, please. KJ in Colorado, he's next. What's up, KJ?
Hey, I was trying to get in yesterday, but lines were too busy. But I've loved to pour on and blame Woody, but I think yesterday was perfect. He had the pulse of not letting this season get out of hand. I'm glad he did it when he did. So I love to hate Woody, so I'm going to give him kudos for this. I'm also agree with you 100% on the Davante Adams take. I don't think Joe Douglas wants to bid against himself, and that's why it's taking so long. I agree 100%. Yeah, if somebody else gets him for like a 3rd and a 5, then yeah, JD screwed that up. But if the Jets are the only people in there and Las Vegas wants a 2 or something even more ridiculous, then Joe's just going to sit and wait. But one thing I want to bring up yesterday, did you see Shannon Sharp's take after the news broke?
I saw he crushed Rodgers. I didn't see the whole thing, though.
He's trying to crush Rodgers and say, like, oh, what if Brady or, like, all these other, like, Peyton Manning or something got a coach fired? But it's like, wait, do you remember Brady got 2 coaches fired in the same offseason because he was colluding with Sean Payton to try to go to Miami. And then when that didn't work and he came out of retirement, immediately gets
Bruce Arians.
What's his name from the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Bruce Arians fired. So it's like, if you're going to be on the national, a national show, at least know what you're talking about and just don't spout things like that. But yeah, other than that, I agree with you on everything. After the show this morning, I watched the Crevette podcast with Robbie, and hearing Crevette talk about, I mean, we all see it, but we're all fans, but the way Crevette talked about Hackett on there is just like, you're a former player. It's like, this guy's got to go. And I can't see any way that that's not going to be a change made this week. So
he will not be the play caller on Monday.
Are they off? Are they off today and don't practice again tomorrow? Because that's the way it looked like on McAfee, that, today was just like a rest and rehab day for them.
Yeah,
So,
because they have the extra day, right? So they were off yesterday. Today was treatment / off day. Their first practice for Buffalo is tomorrow. So when you have the extra day, teams do it how the Jets are doing it. Thursday, it's actually your Wednesday practice. So they'll practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, walk through Sunday, game on Monday.
Because I've been checking my phone all day, like waiting for the news to drop that, Ulbricht's broken, that Hackett will no longer be the play caller. But
I don't think it'll be broken. I don't think
it'll
it'll
just
be
be
broken.
a Monday thing on the sideline.
At least the Salters
That
will
makes
have
sense.
it before the game. Connor Hughes will be like, breaking sources tell me Todd Downing will call the play. I could be wrong. I don't think they want to tell Buffalo who's the play caller because they'll look up Downing's tendencies with the Titans and see if they could game plan something for that, right? So I think there's gamesmanship involved in this.
And I know we've all been calling for Keith Carter's head, and I'm 100% on board with that. But who would be like the next guy up in that situation? Like, do we know who? Like, what is it, like Middleton because he's the tight ends coach? Like, who would be the next guy to take over if they completely can? Because it's not like a demotion thing with Hackett. It's like, what do you? If he's not the line coach, then there's no use for him. Just fire him and get rid of him. And he's been terrible, and apparently the players hate him. But I don't know their staff well enough, so I just wonder who that replacement would be for the line coach.
Whoever the
You go and
assistant,
try to get
Ben
Okay.
Wilkerson would be the new offensive line coach. He's the assistant offensive line coach. He's got 10 years of experience. I know nothing about him other than he's the assistant O-line coach.
Yeah. Or like we could cross our fingers and it could be like a Colts situation. I know they brought in Saturday as the head coach, but bring in Mangold as the line coach. I would sign up for that tomorrow. But anyway, wanted to bring up the Shannon Sharp thing because I didn't see anybody talk about that, and I was just completely baffled when he said that. But good job yesterday. It must have been great for you to, growing up listening to Joe B, and you get to be the one to break that news to him. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, man. Go
KJ, I
Jets.
appreciate it, man. Good call. Yeah, I've had some pretty wild experiences with Joe B over the last year. I was in Canton sitting next to the guy during Revis and Klecko's Hall of Fame speeches. We went to the Jet Giant game together last year. Saw one of the craziest Jet wins ever. They stole one they had no business winning. And then yesterday, I got to do this. Joe, I am not messing with you with what I'm about to say. Adam Schefter is reporting the Jets have just fired Robert Saleh.
Wow. Wow. Are you serious?
I swear to you, I am seeing it all over now. Wow. Yeah, baby. It happens. That video has over 60,000 views. So thanks to everyone who tuned in to our 5-hour stream when that news went down. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. It is the single best way to support me. I want to give a huge shout out to our most recent Patreon members, Jeff Grossman, Lucas, and Jay, for all signing up. More of your calls right now before we wrap. Let's say hello to Adam is too cool. Hello, Adam.
Hey, how's it going? Good
What's
seeing
up,
you in
Adam?
L5.
Yeah, Adam, nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming out.
Nice to meet you. I just wanted to join your show for the first time, celebrate game one of the Ulbrich era, and we'll see how it goes. It's exciting, right?
Are you
We've
bricked
never had
up?
this
You ready?
I'm ready. And, I wasn't sure if this was brought up before, but, Middleton won, I think, 2 games when Saleh had to take a leave. And I think that there's one. So there had to be a support network for him. You got Boyer, who's experienced. You got Middleton, who's experienced. I think he's going to get the help he needs and, wish Saleh well. And sometimes you just need a different voice. And maybe the messages got stale and just needs a new interpretation so that the team can get motivated again. And, I think Woody making that change really created some stakes now. That there are consequences for not living up to the standard. And maybe that's what was needed. It's certainly refreshing, and we'll see if it works.
Yeah, Adam, tremendous call. I think that's how most Jet fans feel. The Jets are being dragged through the mud by talk show hosts in this market and all the national people piling on. I think real Jet fans, we watch the team. These people don't. They don't. They didn't watch 56 games of Robert Saleh. Colin Cowherd had the audacity to say the Jets just fired their most competent coach. Actually, their most competent coach just got promoted to intern head coach. We're going to play that game. These people don't know. They don't know their ass from their chin. And they also hate the Jets, and they use the Jets and this great fan base for clicks. It was the same stuff with the Knicks until they figured it out. Same thing going on with the Mets until they have now obviously figured it out. Win on Monday. That's it. You're in first place if you win on Monday. That should be the goal. That's the only thing that matters. And this team has too much talent to be 2-3. They got a great chance to win on Monday. Jets-Giants fan says, Jake, is it true Abdul Salaam passed away today? I addressed this at the top of the show. It is. For those maybe tuning in late. That's why I'm trying to honor him by wearing the Sack Exchange hoodie I own. So, Abdul Salaam, the first member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange to pass away at the age of 71. Very sad. R.I.P. Thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Very sad. Comment, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Let's say hello to Keith Best, who's next. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Jake. I wanted to, I'm in West Palm, and the hurricane's coming through.
Stay safe, Keith.
I am going to stay safe, but I wanted to just walk out on my balcony. Hold on a minute. Open the fucking door. You can see the wind on the intercoastal here, and we got like 50-mile-an-hour winds right now, and it is what it is. I haven't been on in a couple of days because I've been so disgusted, but at the same time, my dad was a friend of Woody's years ago, and I loved Woody. I got to meet him a couple of times. I trust, and I trust whatever he's going to do. 3 months ago, 4 months ago, or 6 months ago, I said on your show here, just trust the process. And I think we can revamp and beat the Bills on Monday night. If we do that, like you said, we'll go to first place. And, I'm riding out the storm here. It's hitting earlier than what they said. My friend Randy lives in Fort Myers Beach, and he's already 10 feet underwater already. So I brave all those people. It's drove 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people out of the area. But it's going to hit like at 10 o'clock tonight in Sarasota, and we're sitting here watching it. I'm sitting here watching it on TV, and we're just braving the storm. And then tomorrow everything's closed here. Everything is closed. But now it's gonna come a lot earlier than what it said. But I'm glad you asked me to come on today. Great to be here. I had hip replacement surgery yesterday.
Wow.
I'm already walking, and and I actually had MRIs and chemo this morning. But anyway, I'm talking offside of the Jets. I think we got you're absolutely right about one thing. We got so much talent. Now put it into gear. And I think that with the changing of the coaches and all that stuff is going to make it better. As long as the guys show up and they believe in themselves. When you listen to there was interviews yesterday. If you just listen to those interviews from the players, it was absolutely like, this is a change. Everything changes. The sun comes up and down every day, and everything's going to be just A-okay. Now put it into gear. And I think with what you just changed with the coaches is going to make that prevalent. So,
hang in there, Keith. Great call. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay. All right. Stay safe.
Yeah, we're staying safe. I'll be okay. I'm up on the fifth. Yep. Thanks.
Let's go, Keith.
Hold my fist. Make it come to life. You control that. You love this game, demonstrate that shit by how hard you strain. And the passion you play with, guys. When you make a play or your teammate makes a play, celebrate that shit today. Celebrate it. Mind, execute. Don't make shit up. Guys, trust your training. Trust your training. And then fist. In the fourth quarter, these flinch and they tap on us. Remember this, guys. A teammate, I'll die for. My brother, I'll kill for. Let's kill for today. Let's break this down. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Kill on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kill.
That's a coach. Let's go. Fire me up, Brick. I'm bricked up, baby. Let's go. I'm bricked up. You're bricked up. Let's go. Beat the Bills on Monday. Jets are in first place, just like that. Let's go, baby. Live look at what the Jets are doing to the Bills on Monday.
Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans.
Just going to need Neil to say the word Bills this time.
Oh, yeah, the dream season we've been waiting for is happening.
Let's go.
Okay, good luck, Coach. We love you.
I love you too, Jeremy. You look mighty cute in those jeans, brother.
Coach Brick, here we go. Here we go. Click that like button if you're tuned in live. I want to thank the audience for your incredible support. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Nick Faria in his weekly spot on the show. Jeff Parles normally joins us on Wednesdays at this time. He's been moved to Saturday because Jets back in New York going to the Mets game. So good luck to all you Met fans. Yankees better win tonight. Aaron Judge, would it kill you to have a couple hits in a big spot? Please, we need that. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening. R.I.P. to Abdul Salaam. Jets, Jets. Beat the Bills. Enough said. Beat the damn Bills.
Let's go.
Jets, Jets. Disgusting franchise that masquerades themselves as an NFL football team. I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener?